Johannesburg residents woke up to heavy rains and flooding in certain parts of the city. Various highways have been affected and authorities have warned motorists to be cautious. Ian says Tshogajum is on Witkoppen Road in West Tshego. It is flooding that has started, unfortunately, as the downpours continue. Let's talk about the area that you're at in West.
That is true. Good afternoon, Faith. So where we're at the moment, it is much calmer than what it was earlier this morning. I did speak to Wayne Minna, who is, of course, from JMPD, and he just mentioned to me that there was about 15 milliliters of rain that fell here this morning, and that is what caused this particular flooding. This river, Faith, the Braamfontein Spruit, we were on the other side of this river just a little while ago, and there you can see that it's completely flooded. Residents saying that they've never seen it so full to absolute capacity. But let me just step out of shot here, Faith, just so you can see what we are seeing here. So it is much better than what it was earlier, but you can clearly tell that this water went over onto the road. There were a few good Samaritans a little while ago that actually just cleared up the road here so that motorists are able to get through. And the JMPD really just warning motorists that if they are going into a low-lying area, something like this, that they just stay as careful as possible, and if possible, not even attempt to go past these areas.
I mean, Sakho, in often cases we also speak about motorists, but I think that the most vulnerable, particularly in these weather conditions, are those that are based in informal settlements. And I know you've covered numerous stories where individuals were losing their houses just because of the heavy downpours and the fact that their houses were not positioned in the right place.
That is true. So we know places like Alexandra, there by the Uske River, we know that there are some houses, some informal settlement. There's an informal settlement, rather, that is built there. We also know that with that particular area, most of the residents that I had spoken to earlier within this year, just the beginning of the year, they're saying that they're definitely not going to be moving because they've got nowhere else to go. But of course, that is a call that has always been made by not just JMPD, but also government as a whole, that those that are living by the river banks and in low-lying areas, that they attempt to stay as safe as possible, and if possible actually relocate and move from where they currently are.
And a lot of times, I mean, I'm just looking at some of the visuals that we can see there. It also raises questions around the maintenance, not only of our roads, the maintenance also of our drainage system, because that plays a significant role in our ability for us to actually sway the water in a particular direction, not necessarily cause this flooding that we're seeing now.
That is true. So maintenance has always been an issue, especially for the city of Johannesburg. We do know that during such heavy rains, you also get to see the potholes. They somehow get bigger and bigger. And I mean, I feel like this particular bridge where it's just underneath, it's just a river. And obviously that river must have somehow burst its banks for it to look the way that it looks now. And that is a big maintenance has always been a big issue. We do know as well that there are some bridges within the city of Johannesburg that also need to go some form of restructuring to ensure that people can actually drive there and that those bridges are safe. So there is the big issue of infrastructure, the big issue of maintaining that infrastructure, that of course if we can get hold of JMPD or someone from JRA even, just for information as to what their plan is, specifically now with the heavy rains that we are facing. There's nothing surprising about these rains, Faith. We know that summer rains are something that South Africa, Gauteng specifically, is what we deal with. So maintenance and the infrastructure maintenance is really going to be hot on the lips of those that actually have to deal with that.
Tshogajum, I'm going to leave it there as he tries to get some shelter as it continues to rain. We'll be giving you